How would you love to be able to rejection proof your business? Is that fear of talking to people and being judged and rejected by people when you're just trying to get more sales, get more prospects, and get more customers into your business actually stopping you from showing up? So today I want to help you out with that. And I'm going to give you three main things that you can do, not four even actually, to help you to do some tactical things in your business so you can actually rejection proof it. Now, there's going to be some deeper things that might need to be done as well, but it's also about how can you make it feel good for you to actually talk to people and try to let go of that fear of rejection. So that's what I'm going to be covering today in today's Brilliantly You Business Show. My name is Jenny Stevens. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Stick around for the whole video as well because I've got something really exciting to share with you at the end. Welcome. My name is Jenny Stevens, and I help online business owners to really leverage their time, leverage their talent, and leverage their trust so you can build your business online that feels great, that helps you make more sales and impact without the self-doubt. And I love teaching you about leverage, so how you can really utilize systems and automation so you can actually build your business around the lifestyle that you want, because that's what we want. We don't always want to be working for 60, 70 hours a week. We want to be able to have the freedom to do the things that we want. So this is your place to learn all about marketing and mindset tips to help you grow your business online. Okay, so let's talk about rejection proofing your business. How does this sound? Would you be excited if I could help you to rejection proof your business? Just drop a comment, just drop a one or put an emoji if this is something that really appeals to you, with how can you actually build your business, be able to talk to people, have conversations with people, and put in some other things in place that actually then will be rejection proof. Because at the end of the day, this fear of rejection is what holds so many people back. It's what really stands in people's way. And it did for me, this kind of fear of being judged and, being told no, or, so often, doesn't it? When you're talking to prospects in Messenger or whatever, um, it's horrible if somebody just ignores you, or suddenly you see that they've blocked you, or you've been unfriended by somebody. It can really bring up old wounds and stuff. And so I know for me, I hated the way that I was taught to find interested people in my business. It was kind of just a cold messaging thing and talking just to any old Tom, Dick, and Harry. And I really didn't like it. And so a lot of the time, after a while, I just stopped doing it because it felt horrible. It felt icky, and it took forever to actually get conversations round. And so, but I think at the core of it, it was that feeling judged and worrying about what people are going to think, especially actually talking to people that I knew. I really didn't want people to judge me and feel, what it's like when I used to be in direct sales and network marketing. And so there's a lot of skepticism about that industry. So that fear can really stand in people's way. So I want to help you today to get rid of that and actually put some things in place into your business. So into the way that you're doing things, the way that you're marketing your products and your services in a way that feels good for you and also for them. And it's going to make having conversations so much easier, so much nicer for both of you, and just make everything so much more enjoyable. So let's dive in then to what things you can do. So, number one for rejection proofing your business is to stop looking at people as pound signs or dollar signs or numbers. It's so easy. I love my spreadsheets. I love tracking my metrics. I love geeking out on that kind of stuff. It's so important to do when it comes to seeing how well things are working, or if there's some areas that need more focus and improving and stuff. But it can be very easy to kind of forget about those numbers, whether it's sales, as people. But I think particularly when you are actually looking at having conversations with people, looking to build your network, looking to grow your audience, it can be very easy to just get focused on numbers and sales, and I want to hit this target, and I want to get my follower count up to the next like bracket, or how many people can I talk to today because I'm really close to that conversion rate, you know what I mean? And so one of the things I really want to help you to think about, if you haven't already, is just shifting your perspective a bit when it comes to what is your main intention. So I think, especially when people are using their personal profile, it's adding friends. And in the day, you want to try to remove the end result. Try to remove that agenda, because it's the agenda that makes you feel a bit awkward. And it's the agenda that makes you feel can't get that out. It's the agenda that makes you feel like a sleazy salesman, because you know what your agenda is. You know what your intention is. So if you've been doing and made those mistakes of, if you have been doing any kind of cold messaging out to strangers, or maybe think about how you feel if somebody sends you a friend request and like straight away they're sending you a pitch. It feels horrible. It's like, ugh. So I'm so fortunate that I'm a part of amazing communities that's really trying to change the way that people do this, and actually look at your social media as a way to build your network. And I say it's sometimes it's not as easy as you think it is, because we all have our own goals. We've all got our own bills to pay and stuff. But when you can focus on, you want to meet new people and have conversations with people and add more friends, maybe to your friends list, or have more followers on whichever platform you like to use. But try to stop looking at those people as just numbers in terms of pound signs and money. Try to always remember that they are a person, just like you are a person. So if somebody tries to pitch to you and you don't even know them, don't be that person too. Okay. If somebody takes some time to get to know you, how does that make you feel? And how might you be able to incorporate more of that? And actually, when you do take more time to get to know people without any agenda, it means it's going to build up that trust, and it's going to make that relationship more solid. And like I say, they're not going to feel like they're used. Just you just wanted to add them because you think you can get something out of them. Because actually, I mean, I've still got friends on my Facebook friends list from when I first started my business like 6 years ago, nearly, yeah, 6.5 years ago. Haven't necessarily bought anything from people, but there's going to be people that I sort of necessarily think about when it comes to certain products or certain industries. It's like, oh yeah, that person sells that kind of stuff, or they're from that company, or oh, actually I met someone in a group coaching program, and actually I know that they do this and they do that. And so if there's a time when you need something, you think about those people. And so you want your network to think of you like that. Whereas if you just go straight in for the kill, then you're kind of screwing it up. So just try to take away that agenda. Make your main intention to just build a relationship. And I always used to begrudge, sort of want to rebel against that, because I'm like, but I'm being taught to add friends and do all this stuff. So, and even top leaders used to say, oh, yeah, build relationships. But it's like, well, at the end of the day, you're doing that still with a bit of agenda. But it can take a bit of just trying to get your head around it. But it's about your network, so you can grow an amazing network of people. And you don't have to be best friends with them and talk to them all the time, but at least by building that network authentically with integrity, then, like I say, if you do see that someone's selling something or doing something that you're interested in, you might be more inclined to sign up for it because they haven't pitched you, and you can do the same thing too. Okay, so number 2 then is looking at what think about what causes someone to reject you. So I kind of covered it a little bit in number one. So I probably got, I should have looked at my notes, but it's thinking about why, what is it that people make, what is it that causes people to reject you in the first place? Um, when do you reject others? So, like I mentioned just now, if you find yourself being put off by someone who is too pushy, or they haven't bothered to ask you any questions and you ignore them, or maybe you block them, or maybe you unfriend them, or maybe you just, I don't know, that's, you're rejecting them. And it's a part of life. We don't have to like everyone and all that kind of stuff, but it's thinking about what causes someone to reject you as you might take it. Is it actually they're rejecting you, or is it just the fact that they're just not interested? And that's not a, it's not a personal attack on you. So it's looking, just trying to look at how you might be perceiving to be rejected with, take a bit of a step back and say, well, is this someone's personally rejecting me? And when you think about rejection, you think about, being purposely left out. Like maybe at school you had um some experiences where, maybe your friends kind of, you know, teenagers and kids are weird, aren't they? But maybe they're like, oh yeah, let's run away from someone. My friends used to do that to me sometimes. It was always really funny to them, and it made me feel like shit, to be honest. But it's looking at, is this a personal thing, or is it just that, you have sent a message, and if you have done it in a nice way, um, and they've said no, no thanks, that's not them rejecting you. They're just not interested at that time. There might be a time later where maybe the problem that you solve is something that they might be interested, but it's not a personal attack. So think about that again. When you fall into it's all these subconscious beliefs that we have about rejection. This is where so much of this comes up and stands in the way, because something triggers this old feeling from when you were younger, when you did feel rejected, you did feel judged, maybe you were embarrassed or ridiculed for something that you said. All of these things are what the deep root is. It's not the fact that someone said, no thanks, I'm not interested in buying your shake. Like, that's not the thing. Okay, in terms of how do you actually rejection proof that side of things. So when you're thinking about what makes people reject you, is start instead doing attraction marketing. And this is what changed my life. What turned everything around for me was about, actually, instead of being more of an active prospector, an active person, I used to always post like product pictures and doing that whole messenger thing, which I did give up after a while because it just felt too to me. So instead of spamming your products everywhere and being that person who does have that agenda, which, by the way, I do just want to kind of say, if that's how you've been taught from leaders in your company or leaders in your business, in your industry, just know that it's not your fault. People only share stuff because either that's what's worked for them, or because they don't know any different. They don't know anything any other way. And so a lot of industries are unfortunately teaching ineffective marketing. It's not real marketing. It's just, let's just spray and pray. So let's just put this out to everyone and see if something sticks. Instead, what I encourage and challenge you to do is to instead look at how can you attract people to you. And how you do that is by being someone of value. It's being someone who is actually giving people a reason to take action. It's it's somebody that seems to get the person on the other side, that knows what they're feeling, and is, maybe they're educating people on stuff. And it's learning marketing. Okay, but attraction marketing is all about, it's when you are the brand, you've got to be somebody that people want to follow. They want to tune in to your Facebook lives. They want to read your posts because you can actually now start building a connection with people and let them know that you know your stuff and provide useful, educational, inspirational content that is going to talk to the problems, and the solution is your product. Okay. Number two is think about what causes people to reject you and start looking at, is that providing value? Okay. So it's not being a dick and it's not just messaging people and pitching your stuff all the time, but instead be a human. And people will only unfriend you and block you and stuff if they're just not interested. They're not your target market, and that's okay. Okay, so give people a reason to want to talk to you as well. Have some curiosity in there. I used to do my makeup post where I would give them the product name, the shade. Like if it was like a lipstick color, I would tell them the shade color. I'd tell them the price. I'd give them everything, and so there wasn't really much need for someone to need to comment or message me because I just told them. Now, I did do pretty well with sales, but after a while, that got a bit tiresome for people. So instead, you want to try and have it where you get some curiosity, and you can have then move that conversation to Messenger. If people are like, oh, I love that lipstick color, or I love that eyeshadow, or whatever. What is that? Oh, let's just, and then you can take it to Messenger and start having a conversation about, oh, what's your favorite colors, and whatever you want to do. So, like I say, so number three then is educate, inspire, and give a call to action. So that's really where that content comes into place. Educate people on what they don't know. Give people their options. Think about what your product or course or service or opportunity does for people, and really focus on teaching and talking about those benefits. What might they need to know to make a decision to buy? What are some things that they don't know that they kind of need to know? So that's where your content comes into it. So there's so many different types of content and stuff that you can create, which I can't obviously cover all of that in today, but it's really focusing on what might they need to know. So, like I say, if you sell products or have a service-based business, or you're a coach, whatever you do, there's going to be people at different stages. Meaning, there's some people that they don't even know they've got a problem, and so there can be ways that you can then create content that's going to let people know and go, oh, that sounds familiar. That sounds like me. Oh, maybe I have this. So I've had to do quite a bit of this when I'm talking about mindset stuff. So when I qualified as a rapid transformational therapist practitioner, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know, about money blocks and, you know, where all this deep rooted stuff comes from, limiting beliefs, and really what kind of goes with it. So I have to do a bit more educating for people that they don't know that there might be a block there. People don't know if they've got a money block, if they've never learned about it before. So there's kind of the early stages. Then you're going to have people that they're aware they've got a problem. They know, they look in the mirror, they can see that they're overweight. So they're like, I know I'm overweight. I know I've got to do something, but they're toying up their options. They're like, what's going to be the best way for me to do it that fits with my lifestyle and suits me, my personality and stuff? And so then you can start creating content that talks about the different ways to do it or how to choose stuff. Okay. So it's all about creating content that people, that your perfect customers, clients, prospects are going to be looking for. And there's so much you could do. I did a show all about how to find content ideas. I think that was 2 weeks ago. So go and check out my blog, jennystevenscoaching.com/blog. Go and check out my blog and you'll find that episode where I talked about how you can create a year's worth of content from doing a few simple things. This is the stuff that you can create content on. And so when you start creating valuable content, helpful, useful, informative, educational content, people are going to want to listen. They're going to want to watch or read or however whatever kind of style you do. And also it elevates you. It lifts and it elevates you and shows you as more of an expert. Even if you're not an expert, but you still know a few things more than someone else does who doesn't know. And that's okay. And so, you elevate yourself as a leader, you show yourself as an expert, someone of authority. And so, this is then how you can start attracting people because they want to follow you. And then when you do your content, you can give a call to action. So every week in my shows, these episodes, I put together show notes where I put together, I put the video of this in there that I edit out any of the kind of Facebook Live stuff. And then I have a written sort of summary which goes over the main key points. And then I have a resources section for any free or paid things that are relevant that I think people reading that post it's going to help them to then take that next step. And so that's a really great way of, if you want to be able to come back to this and refer back to it later and get all the resources and everything in one handy place, that's the thing for you. That was a call to action. Okay. Obviously, I was promoting the show notes. And later on, I've got something really cool that I'm going to share with you about how you can really help this fear of rejection as well. So I'll come to that at the end. But so when you create your content, you can then just give a simple call to action. It might just be send me a message or comment below and I'll reach out to you. And then that's where you can carry on the conversation and, talk about whatever it is that you do. So give people a way to want to talk to you. Okay. And this is where creating that valuable content, being somebody that's educating people and isn't just spamming stuff everywhere. Now, it's still okay to promote, it's still okay to do promotional posts and stuff. But, if all you do is post, where it's promoting, without really much effort or telling stories or any kind of value, it's going to get really tiresome. And that's where people might start unfriending you and doing stuff like that. And I had that happen to me. My own brother unfollowed me. He didn't unfriend me, but he unfollowed me on Facebook. And when he told me, I felt really awful. I felt rejected. I felt judged because this is my own brother saying, I don't want to see your stuff. And I get it because I was posting constant makeup products and selfies with, the products that I used to sell. So I get it. And so with attraction marketing, it's not just about attracting people to you by your content, but it's also knowing how to put your message in front of the right people. And that comes to say from various different things. So you really want to be able to know, it's developing that skill to know, how can I be in front, how can I put my post, and you can do this with a personal profile and business page and ads and all sorts, there's so many different cool little things that you can do, but it's making sure that you're not putting a post in front of people that aren't going to be interested. So it's a mixture. It's a mixture of knowing, so rather than that spray and pray, like I mentioned, where it's just, let's just put this out to everyone, it's being more targeted and direct to say, right, I know that my perfect customers or clients are here, and I'm going to put my message in front of them only. Okay. And so that's the beauty of it. So like I mentioned a little bit earlier, in terms of, there's going to be people that they don't know they've got a problem. They don't know that they need your product or what you do. There's going to be some people that they're in that sort of research stage where they're looking online, where they're looking for their options. And so you can then be there to provide that. And then it's kind of people going, well, why should they choose yours over them? And then you can do, content with results, your clients' results, your customers' results, your team members' results, sharing proof that your thing does what it says it does. that you provide that benefit and the outcome that people are looking for. And so, really, you can do that by telling stories. Telling stories is such an effective way to market and to sell because you're just telling a story. And so, I won't go into kind of this too much. I'll cover that in a. I think maybe we'll do that on another episode in terms of how to use stories. But really, just think about it like if you and I were sitting in my living room or in a coffee shop or whatever, and you were telling me about this time when you were struggling with this same problem and what you found that helped you, how would that conversation go? So, really trying to make, and so when you can tell a story and pick particular instances, whether it's your story or someone else's. So stories are really, really powerful. People will read stories. You know, if there's a post on social media or an email, if it's written in a story format, people will read long stories. People read, huge novels, massive, great big novels that are massive, hundreds and hundreds of pages long because it's a good story. We watch a 3-hour film because it's a great story. So stories are awesome. And they say, and then give a call to action at the end if they're interested. And so again, this is where you flip things around. Rather than here's my shit, buy my stuff. Instead, you're saying here's some information about stuff. If you want to learn more, or if you'd like to get the products that I'm using, then let's chat or go here or do whatever you want them to do. So then only the people that are interested are going to then have that next step, do that next step. And so this is where having actual conversations becomes a breeze. It becomes so much more enjoyable. Like, how much more enjoyable would you feel if you did a post, you said, if you're interested, let's chat. And then you had 2 people send you a message to say, I just watched your video or I just saw your post. Please, can you tell me more? Isn't that going to feel so much easier to then go, yeah, sure. Well, tell me a bit more about what interested you about it. How can I help you? So instead of, hey, here's all the stuff about this stuff. Yeah, I think you'd be great at it, and you need to buy this because da, 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 da. Instead, you're just saying, yeah, awesome. How can I help? And it just naturally flows. And they're like, okay, great. So you want to learn more. Would you like me to send you the link to this product? Or would you like me to send you the link to how you can get started in working with me? Yes, please. Or even if they say no, you can say, okay, well, if you want to talk a bit more. But it makes it so much easier. Okay. So, like I mentioned in the beginning, I really hated talking to people. And when I changed my strategy, I realized it wasn't that I didn't like talking to people, it was the method in how I was talking to people. And when that changed, did a 180, oh my days, it was like heaven and earth, hell to heaven. It literally was. It was like, oh, actually, I do really like talking to people because there isn't that fear of judgment anymore. There isn't that fear that someone's going to be like, fuck off. Why are you trying to sell me your stuff? There isn't that fear of wasting your time. Like, even if someone does say no, I mean, they were the one that reached out to you. You've at least got a prospect that you can stay in touch with. And so that's where that shift and that rejection free comes from, which is awesome. Okay. And the number 4 is don't let fear get in your way. Show up anyway. There is going to be times where you need to just push through it. Like if you are so fearful of showing up and doing a video, there's going to be a point where you are just going to have to sort of suck it up and just have a go. Because probably 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be as bad as you think. Unless you completely, which I don't think I've ever really heard of like anything where they're like, nope, that's it. I literally died when I did my first Facebook Live. It's not going to be that bad. So there are going to be times, if you are building or you're wanting to build your business on these amazing social media platforms, But if the fear of rejection is standing in your way so much that you are not showing up, you're not doing your posts, or you're hiding in the background, or you're just not wanting to do videos, then it might be deeper than that. I said there will be some points where you're going to need to just push through that comfort zone. But it might be that you need to also work on your own rejection wounds. So it's looking at, well, why, like, how come I am fearing this so much? And so this is where like we can work together. And there's some things, so there's something that I want to let you know about. Because when you can get rid of that, not only can you do some tactical things in your business with your marketing so that you can make things more rejection proof. So absolutely do that. But if still you find yourself avoiding talking to people, avoiding asking for the sale, avoiding taking that next step, are you missing out on sales because there is that real, oh my God, no, this just feels awful? Then it might be that you need to work on your own rejection wounds. And when you can do that, because at the end of the day, I want you to feel lighter. I don't want to help you lose a stone or 10 pounds or 20 pounds, whatever. I want you to feel lighter in here. I want you to be confident so you can show up as yourself with so much confidence, it's oozing out of you. That's what I want for you. I want you to not give a shit what people think, to the point where you are yourself. You know, reality is we will care a little bit about what people think. But if it's stopping you from actually being your awesome self, showing up for your people, even if you've got one follower, that one follower might absolutely love you. That one follower might really need your message today. So don't worry about how many hundreds or thousands of followers have you got. Pretend that you are talking to one person. So right now, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you alone. And I want you to feel comfortable being brilliantly you, which is what my show is called. I want you to embrace your personality, your quirks, your awesomeness, whatever, because you deserve it. And people will love you for you being you. And so if there are some things that are standing in the way, then I am doing a brand new workshop. This is a live workshop. So I wanted to let you know about this. So if this fear of rejection is something that you think, do you know what, this is something that really is getting in the way. It's getting in the way of you showing up, of being visible to your audience, of you're avoiding talking to people. And especially if you are in a relationship kind of business, then, you know, that's something that kind of needs to be sorted out. So I'm doing I'm just going to copy this link a sec. I'm doing a brand new live workshop in 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks, on the 1st of June, which is going to be awesome. I'm really excited about this. So I put together all of the stuff. So hopefully everything all works. So basically, this live workshop, we will work together as a group, or however many people, even if there's one person show up, I don't care. But this is a chance where we're going to come together and do a mixture of conscious work by looking at, you know, where are some of those times where you did feel rejected. And then we're going to do some subconscious work as well. And so this is where my rapid transformational therapy qualification is going to come in. So we're going to do a little bit of we're going to do a bit of hypnosis work where we're going to really kind of dig deep into where these deep rooted fears come from. Okay. So it's going to be a really nice magical mixture of conscious and subconscious work. Okay. So we've got a special early bird price. So you can go to this link. jennystevenscoaching.com/rejection. Fingers crossed it all works. I've got all my tech working all right. Um, so there's a special early bird price of just £56. And this is only going to be available just for a couple of days. And then it's going to go up to £111. So 111 after this early bird price. Okay. So if you want to kind of get your foot in the door, get a bargain, I definitely should be charging way, way more for this. But I thought this is something brand new. I haven't done this particular workshop before. So it's kind of like a little beta test with, with you guys, for those of you that want to join me. So you can go to that link. Like I say, the early bird price is £56. And then once after that ends, it's going to go up to £111. If you're in different currencies, just get into Google and look at what the difference is. Go to that link. As part of that as well, you will get access for 14 days. For anyone that maybe can't make it live, because I know I've got an international audience, you will be able to go through at least the replay. But please be there live. It's going to be so much more impactful for you if you can be there live. But you will get a replay access for 14 days. And we'll work together in a really nice, intimate setting, which will be completely confidential. And, it's just going to be a time and a safe space for everyone to come together. Okay. So if you're interested in joining me for that, so the live workshop will be on the 1st of June. And yeah, I am really, really excited about it. So you can just pop to that link, jennystevenscoaching.com/rejection. It will also go into the show notes area. Obviously, if this is after the replay closes, then there might be a waiting list for maybe the next time I do it. So just check around the description and the video, wherever you're watching this, for any links to the show notes and resources. But let's say for right now, get yourself signed up. Super early bird price, so cheap. But it's going to be so impactful. And already, I've worked on some of these things, and it's so enlightening to see how this fear is standing in the way. Like for me, it was about being authentically me. It was about me showing up and, sharing an opinion, like I've been such a people pleaser from my own fear of being judged and what people are going to say. And so it's really freeing when you can actually get rid of that. And that's the kind of thing we're going to be doing inside of this workshop. So I really hope to see you there. If you've got any questions, please feel free to either comment below, or you can message me privately if you'd rather, if you've got any questions about any of that, and obviously we can talk. So yeah, I am super excited. So I hope you found that useful. To say these are your 4 kind of more tactical things that you can do to make your business rejection proof. Certainly that marketing piece is going to be awesome, but it really is going to be just developing your skill set, becoming a better marketer, being a human being first is going to serve you so much more and your audience, and they are going to appreciate it so much. And even if you have made some of those previous mistakes, it's fine. We've all done it. Like I've done it. That doesn't mean that you can't sort of start over and do a bit of a refresh. Okay. So I hope you found this useful. If you did find it valuable, please just comment in #value. I always love to make sure that you are enjoying the content that I'm providing for you. And I hope to see you on that workshop. Have an amazing day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Check around, like I say, the videos for any resources that I've mentioned, and have a fantastic day. I'll see you all very, very soon. I'll see you next week for another episode of the Brilliant New Business Show. Take care, everyone. Bye.